Hello everyone, and welcome back to Kentucky Garden Gal. This is Nancy, and in this week's video we are going to talk about 3 things that most of us use every day in our kitchen that we're probably just tossing in the trash that really is beneficial to our gardens. It is bananas, eggshells, and coffee grinds. So let's get started with this week's video. If you make a daily pot of coffee, you have a fabulous source of organic matter right at your fingertips. Coffee grounds can make your garden happier in several ways, and not just that coffee gives you more energy for weeding and pruning. Don't toss the coffee grinds. You can put them to work. Grounds in your compost bin. There are 2 types of compost material, brown and green, and I'm going to put up a visual so that you can sort of have an idea of what I'm talking about. Your coffee grounds may be brown in color, but in compost jargon, they are actually green material, meaning an item that is rich in nitrogen. Coffee grounds are approximately 1.45% nitrogen. They also contain magnesium, calcium, potassium, and other trace minerals. Other green compost materials include food scraps and glass clippings. Adding coffee grounds, and in my particular case, I have this little, you don't have to use a paper filter for this type of coffee. This is the filter, but you can actually put, if you do have to use the paper filter, you can put the coffee grinds and the paper filter directly in your compost. I think it's trying to make us some more coffee there. So you need to make sure that you have a balance with brown compost material, which includes dry leaves and newspapers. There should be a 4-to-1 ratio of brown compost material to green compost material. If you have too much green material, your compost pile will start to smell, and if you don't have enough, the compost won't heat up. So we can also fertilize with coffee grounds. You can add coffee grounds directly to the soil in your garden. You can scratch it in the top, a couple of inches of soil, or just sprinkle the grounds on top and leave it alone. Now, you don't want to do this in large amounts because you don't want to put too much. So it's always best to maybe do this thinly. And you can also mix it in with dry materials. Make a coffee ground tea. Add 2 cups of used coffee grounds to a 5-gallon bucket of water. Let the tea seep for a few hours or overnight. You can use this concoction as a liquid fertilizer for garden and container plants. It also makes a great feed that you can spray directly on the leaves and stems of your plants. And you can also, if you have leftover coffee in your coffee pot, you can just, you can pour it directly onto your plants, or you can add water and pour directly onto your plants. Of course, we know it's great to feed our earthworms. It's also a deterrent for slugs. You can take your coffee grounds and just sprinkle them around your plants. We know how much slugs love our hostas, but you can just take this and sprinkle it directly around your plants, and it'll help keep slugs away. So I'll show you how I keep my coffee grinds. I have a baggie, a Ziploc baggie that I keep in the refrigerator, and every day I just empty my coffee grinds into this bag, and then I can decide how I want to use these. It's just easier for me than going out every day and, you know, doing what I want to do with them. So I just collect them in the refrigerator in a Ziploc bag. And remember that plants, your acid-loving plants like hydrangeas, rhododendrons, azaleas, lily of the valley, blueberries, carrots, and radishes really love these coffee grounds. So make sure that you are saving some of your coffee grounds for those plants. Let's look at another item. Another item that most of us have in our kitchen that we use daily are eggs, and the eggshells are very beneficial for our gardens. Like the coffee grounds, they're also considered green compost material. So everything that coffee grinds do, the eggshells will do. So again, I keep a Ziploc baggie in my refrigerator, and you can tell that some of these are a little bit more crushed up than others. And again, just like the coffee grinds, you could take, I would say this size eggshell right here, you can put this around your hostas, and it'll help keep the slugs away also. Now in my case, I feed my eggshells directly back to my chickens. So after I use an eggshell, I rinse it out, then I'll put it in this bag, and for my use, this is about the size right here that I'm looking for. And the chickens, I just add this back in. I usually give my chickens table scraps. They love them, so I'll just add this right back in to whatever I'm giving them, and it helps to make their eggs harder, the eggshells harder. So, and you can also, if you want to put these in a blender, you can do that. However you need to use the eggshells in your garden, this is another great item that is free. More than likely, everybody uses it, and it's just something that I would never ever throw away in my kitchen. The last item that I want to talk about that I'm sure many of you have in your kitchen every day, and you probably just toss in the trash, is a banana. Just a plain and simple banana. So there are a number of ways that you can use bananas in your garden. One way that I love, and that I do this quite frequently, after I eat the banana, I will take it and just cut it up and put it in water, and that is a banana tea. And so I feed all of my plants with that. I don't really think that you can burn your plants. I think that it's just enough that it just gives them a boost. Now, you can also take the banana peel and take it out to your roses and put it around the roses and just sort of, mash it into the ground. And I'm telling you, you can have a rose bush that maybe isn't doing so well, and just one banana peel will just perk it right up. And you can also, when you're planting your rose bush, you can put a whole banana down in the hole, and it'll give that rose bush a little boost. So the three things that we've talked about today are your coffee grinds, your banana peels, and your eggshells. Those are three things that are very, very useful, and you should never throw away. And I've showed you how I keep my coffee grinds and my eggshells in individual Ziploc bags, but I also wanted to show you this. And this is a place that you can keep your scraps, depending on how much you cook and what, how much you do. And I usually have this setting, I actually put it under my sink, but it's attractive enough that you can use it on your counter, and it's a little compost jar for your scraps. And if you notice, there's a filter right there, and you can replace these, you can wash them, but it does not have any odor. I promise you, there is no odor from this. It's attractive, unless people know what it is, they wouldn't even know what it was. But I've had this for years and years. I'm pretty sure I got it off of Amazon, and if I can find it, I'll put it up for you. But I hope that this video has been helpful, and I hope that you are inclined to save these three things and use them in your garden to benefit your garden. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I appreciate all of you and hope you have a blessed week.